Hey guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Today we're gonna talk about a key to happiness. But before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, the reason when I talk about the key to happiness, again, brought back to a conversation I have with friends. I have a lot of conversation with friends, but I'm basically break it down to little pieces for you guys. My friend was asking me, something about she make a statement. She make a statement saying the key to happiness is sorry, I try to recall what she said. Basically, what she say is the key to happiness is us working our own issue, right? As long as we work our own issue, we will be happy. And then when she make that statement, I look at her and say, and yes, and yeah, because in my brain that is called common sense, right? And then she look at me, she look at my reaction, and she say, no, do you know? Majority of people don't know that. And I say, no, it couldn't be, because majority of people must know that, right? Everything comes with two sides. In order to get something, you have to give. I mean, that's common sense, isn't it? Right? In order to get something, you give something first. And she's like, no, stop thinking that, because she always tease me and say, I think majority of people know things when they actually don't, right? I say it couldn't be, because, people know. Those people talk about this all the time. People talk about, in order to get love, you give love first, isn't it? I mean, there's all kind of conversation. She said, yeah, but people don't know, the true key to get happiness in life is actually for them to work within themselves and work the issue. So that's why I say, yeah, and now I'm very puzzled, because I really don't see the difference between what I say and what you say, right? So anyway, because of that debate, it brings to this episode with you guys, because I start to take weeks to digest, right? That means I start to thinking, does people really don't know that? Does people really don't know? In order for them to truly feeling happy about themselves is to work within the issue, to step out of their comfort zone, to confront themselves, right? As I start thinking about that the idea of thinking majority of people don't know that, to really digest idea for weeks, right? Then I start to realize maybe my friend is true, because based on a lot of clients who come to me and all that, I start to realize it's not so much like they don't work their issue so they can be happy. It's more they don't know what that issue is. Does that make sense? Because we're so used to putting that things away, like we're so used to not confronting our own fear. We are so used to stay in the comfort zone and leave our fear alone. Because of that, what we do is we don't know what our issue is, or we do know, we just pretend we don't know, right? So because of that idea starts to settle in my head, so therefore I start to want to share a topic that I'm pretty sure you can Google it somehow. This is this author called Mark Manson, right? Mark Manson write a topic. I actually forget what the title is, but basically what it is very similar to what we're talking about. What you want to get in life depends on how much you're willing to sacrifice. You know what I mean? So in this case, it's not so much sacrifice as, for example, if I give you an example, if I want to get a good figure, if I want to have a good body, I have to willing to sacrifice either my time or the pain. I have to willing to endure that pain so I can get a good figure. You know what I mean? So everything always come hand in hand. So you want to get something, you have to give something, right? So in the same regard, in order to reach that happiness, you will have to deal with some pain first, because that will help you to really embrace and understand what true happiness really is, right? So what I'm saying is, as I said, this whole week topic, a lot of self-reflection, right? When you are sick, that's what you do. When you lay on the bed and nothing to do, you think. But hopefully you think positive, not so negative to the dark hole, right? So you start to think, in life, we got a lot of, coming from Asia, we are very submissive culture. The reason I say that is the way the whole Asian culture is, try your best to please others. Try your best to compromise yourself for others, right? So especially, well, I don't know newer generation. I can only speak from my generation. So from my generations, what we did is we think other people's need is more important than our need. So therefore, we sacrifice our need for their need, right? So slowly you will see people who are coming from Asia, they tend to be more sit back, or they will not speak up so much, or they are not asking too much, right? So in that regard, what happened is ourselves, like who we want to be, who we think we are, or that sense of freedom, that sense of being, we usually get lost sometimes between the education, right? So it's not until you come to live in North America for a long time, you start to realize, oh, it seems so free, like people can just say whatever, do whatever, right? Disregard other things. So as I said, when you live in one culture for a long time, what you do is you see good and bad of, there's always pros and cons and everything. You start to understand everything always come good side and bad side, right? It's not until, later on I understand all the connection, all the networking, all that, I realize the so-called true happiness is to be yourself, but not to be yourself as whatever you want to be, disregard how other people are or think or feel, right? But to really find a way to truly be yourself, who you want to be under the big umbrella of respect. That means you will respect other the way you will respect yourself. You know what I mean? Not like going outside, this is where I am, this is how I am. You guys just have to do whatever I say, right? Not to just speak up without thinking what the consequence is. Not to just act without thinking what the consequence is. You do have a basic, which I think is all living things on this earth know that is called respect. I respect you as you respect me, right? And based on this umbrella, we learn to figure out who we are, where we stand, right? Not so much to please others. I do whatever to make you happy, right? But how I can be happy being me without hurting or intention to hurt, other people or other living things, right? So anyway, the reason I'll share with you guys is life is a journal, which you guys follow my, vlog for a long time, you must know. Life is journal. We come to this life with a lot of plan, right? With task, with purpose, with, all this difficult people or tasks we had to confront ourselves with, right? Instead of always put yourself in the comfort zone and not to deal with it, not to confront with it, not to work it, right? I do encourage you to make that little step. You don't have to work it all at once. No one can be sent, really. We are not anyway. And there's no standard for sent anyway. So what I do is pick the one. Always pick the one that is, easier among all the hard tasks you have to work in, right? And slowly make that step. Slowly step out of comfort zone, right? In my client, I have two things I really want to share with you guys. Those are the two things I talked about yesterday in Chinese, but I don't think I say in English. The conversation started with, okay, how can I start this? We always have a dream who we want to be. Let me start with this. We always have a dream who we want to be. But if every time I ask my client, or even I ask you, what kind of people do you want to be? If you can respond to me right now, you will realize it always comes with condition. That condition is very much tied very closely to money, right? That means I want to be this type of people when I have money. When I have this amount of money, then I'll be this type of people. See, the truth is, to be truly who you are, that means I can put you in any situation, any circumstances. You can still be who you are. Does that make sense to you? Like this, I want to be a respectful person. That doesn't have to wait until I have money. I can respect you right now, even though I have no money. Does that make sense to you? Or I can be respectful when I am at work. I can be respectful. That's what I stand for. Being who you are doesn't come with condition. Being who you are is a statement of being. Like, you don't need any condition to reach that. That means you don't have to be rich to be respectful. You don't have to be rich to have integrity. You don't have to be rich to start speak with confidence. Does that make sense? So, okay, if you guys start to understand that, right? What I sometimes talk to the client, like their life was dealing with a lot of struggle. A lot of time, as I mentioned in the previous episode, we are so trapped by our past. We are so trapped by our, logic or our story or, whatever it is. The pain that we're dealing through and something, right? We hang on to our past so much that we are afraid to create future. We are afraid to look forward, or we just don't think life can be any better than what we already taste, right? So in this case, a lot of time I would suggest my client suggest them saying, okay, I'm gonna give you a piece of paper, a white paper. Now this is an exercise you guys can do. I'm gonna give you a piece of white paper. This white paper got a magical power. The magical power is everything you write on this piece of paper is gonna come true. You know what I mean? Everything you write on this piece of paper is going to be your future. And then what are you going to write? What kind of you do you want to be? Do you want to be the one who speaks with confidence? Do you want to be the one who can, be free? Do you want to be the one who can be loved? Basically, anything you write on this paper is going to be your future. Okay, now what you're going to write. Usually, and then that condition based on, you have to forgive. You have to forget whatever happened in your past, right? So basically, whatever you write on the paper, you have to let go of your past and just just go crazy. Just write whatever you want to be. Like what you perceive you is going to be, and then you write on this paper because it's going to be your future. Usually, get my client a little bit puzzled because they don't know what to do, right? They're so afraid to ask. They're so afraid to be that person. But, because they're thinking their past is going to trouble them, right? Do that exercise for me once. You go home, you write it down. Now, what happened is you have a piece of paper. You have a piece of paper, write down what you want to be. I want to be the person with integrity. I want to be the person who never lie. I want to be the person who never suffer. I want to be the person who is loved and loved by everyone. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, once you got everything writing down, you know what you will do? Every day you will act like that person that you write on paper. You would look at that piece of paper like you a screenplay, and then you're gonna try your best to be the good actor and be that exact same one on that piece of paper that you write down. You will forget what happened to you in the past, because every moment from now on you will live like an actress or actor, and your script is written on that piece of paper and you will live like it. You know what I mean? If you do that, I can almost guarantee you your life, that piece of paper will eventually become your reality. Here, I'm going to give you another fact that's more scientific. Do you know our body has dead cells every day? Do you know our body has dead cell every day? We got new cell, we create new cell, we got dead cell, right? You guys have probably heard this before or not, but now I'm telling you. It takes 7 years for your whole body dead cell, like this Ruowen, every cell in this body would die and become replaced by the new one, right? The whole process takes about 7 years. That means even your body right now may be full of bad cell. That is, I think I'm worthless. I think I'm incapable. I think I'm not good enough. I think life is miserable. All the cells that occupy your body, when you start day one and start replacing that cell, that means every day the new cell come out is going to be the good one, right? That means I am good enough. I am loved. I am beautiful, right? Sooner or later, those good cell was going to be, overpower the bad cell. Do you know what I mean? You would go from, 90% bad cell, 10% good cell, slowly become 50-50, 60-40, or even 90% of good cell and 10% good cell. If you want a time frame, here, this is very scientific way of doing things. No matter where you are, what kind of pain you're suffering through, or what you are dealing through right now, or how bad you think you are, we all gone through that, seriously, because we're the worst judge for ourselves. If you start putting intention from now on, right, and decide who you truly want to be, because you want that happiness in your life, you start replacing those bad cells with the good cell of who you truly want to be. One day, that will become your reality. One day, when you stay in that point and really feel that freedom of being yourself, you will be happy, right? Your happiness doesn't come from making other people happy. It's the same thing as I say. You can only love someone if you love yourself first. Your happiness comes from you are happy. You are happy with yourself. You are happy with who you are. You're happy with the decision you do. Therefore, you are happy with this world. Anyway, today I'm just sharing with you guys about the key to happiness. If you are interested, give it a try. So, again, if you like what I'm doing, always join me live on Periscope or go to my Facebook or subscribe my YouTube channel or go to my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.